Sports Extra. From 7 to 8 p.m., highlights of local sports around the Cayman Islands. Sports Extra.
It's amazing to see the improvement of the team.
Sports Extra, keeping you informed.
Alrighty, good evening and welcome to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. I'm your host, Dion Anglin. Of course, this weekend, Cayman seniors are stepping into the spotlight and onto the track for a celebration of movement, legacy, and of course, community pride. Joining us first on Sports Extra is Department of Sports Coordinator for Women Meter Day alongside Coach Redva Ebanks. All right, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. All right. Good to have you guys here. We'll dive into the heart of Seniors Sports Day from, the theme Legacies in Motion to the activities designed for all abilities. We'll explore how this event uplifts our elders and inspire, generations to come. Then in the second half, we shift gears to the hardware where youth development is taking center court. We're joined by Jim Fox, a seasoned NCAA Division I coach with ties to NBA superstar Stephen Curry, and Colin Anglin, president of the Cayman Islands Basketball Association. Together, they'll break down the goals of the lab camp that's currently going on right now at the UCCI gym. Not right now, but this week. The future of Cayman basketball and what it takes to build greatness from the ground up. All right, this is Sports Extra. Stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. And just a reminder, for those of you just tuning in, we're here with the Acting Assistant Director of Sports, Mr. Redva Ebanks, and Head Coach for Wellness and Health for Women in Sports of the Department of Sports. Both of you are representing the Department of Sports. Good evening once again. Hope all is well with everyone. It's good to have you guys in, and it's good to see you all again. Yeah, the big things are coming up this weekend. We have the Seniors Sports Day that's coming up. Is it Saturday?
Yes, Saturday.
Okay, so I know the theme for this year is Legacies in Motion. What inspired this year's theme, and how does it reflect Cayman seniors?
Well, I think that it's the title was DCFS.
Yeah.
Because they're leaders for Older Persons Month, and Department of Sports just supports them by doing the physical aspects of this month. So they came up with that. But yes, legacies. I mean, our seniors are our legacy. They made history. They're the people who paved the way for us. So I think it's very apt.
Okay, I like it. How does Senior Sports Day promote active aging and wellness in our community? I know you do a lot of programs for our seniors as well, Ms. Day.
Yes, well, I mean, we're promoting wellness and health through movement. And I mean, it's community, nostalgia. I mean, they get to to come together with their peers, and that's really good for them because they get to connect. Oftentimes, some of them don't really go many places.
Right.
So this is a great time for them to meet up with people of the same age group and to reflect and do activities together. And community is building of our community.
This is not our first one.
No,
This is like
it's
our-
not the first one.
well,
I would
third?
want to say the third. Yes.
All right, awesome. What types of sporting events and activities are they going to be participating in this year? And what's different from the last?
Well, we kind of tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah.
We have some walking events. We have a lot of
Motor skills.
field events to deal with motor skills. This year we're adding dominoes.
Oh, nice. They're going to love that.
Yeah, because that would be mental wellness as
Right,
well. And then they
okay.
get to work as a team and also play across from a team.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I like
So-
that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So how was last year's event?
I think last year's event went well. The ladies had fun. The games that we set up for them, we got good reception.
I was about
Very competitive.
Yes, and they were very.
And I also believe
heard
that some people last time were a bit hesitant because they weren't sure of what to expect. So that you found that some people came and they signed up for one thing or something or maybe two. And then when they saw others participating in the other events and they wanted to be involved. And then last minute they wanted to sign up and we were kind of like overwhelmed. So I think this year they're going to make sure that we stick to people signing up for 3 events in their categories, so that it could be more organized and
Gotcha.
hopefully everything will run even smoother.
Awesome. How were the events selected to suit the range of abilities and capabilities within that age bracket?
Well, I think you just need to think of the things that seniors need as they age, and the fine motor skills, and the gross motor skills, but in particular, the fine motor skills, like basic things that we take for granted, like when they're aging, like buttoning for independence more of anything, like to button their shirt, to brush their teeth, to still write a note, because you'll find as they age that the writing is not as as good, and so things like that, to open a can. Things that they use for the fine motor skills is like the muscles in their wrists and their hands and their fingers, like to pick up a coin, manipulate, comb the hair. So basic things that it takes for them to still keep their independence.
Yep.
That's in the fine motor skills, and like in the gross motor skills, you're talking about using the bigger muscles and compound movements. So you will be talking about things like sitting to stand, which is like taking care of the squat. Using their arms, so like even if it's like wall push-ups or things that will allow them to be more independent as they age and feel that they're still in control. So those would be the things that I would suspect that the people on the team putting the events together would have been thinking about one day.
Awesome. What were some of the highlights last year? I know there must have been one big event that got their interest last year.
I don't know what it is, but there was something about the beanbag toss.
Yes.
Yes, we had about 50 people sign up for that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you had to have playoffs.
Okay. Are you doing that again this year?
Well, I guess it depends on how many people turns up, and we hope that it'll get to that where they have to do playoffs, because you have the different categories for the different ages, and then I believe within those age groups, that will also be broken down further, if necessary, for the different limitations that people might have, because you may have a person who is in a particular age group who can move more independently and don't need the aid of a walker or maybe a stick, so then within that age group, if they're walking, say, the 40 meter, you might have to separate it and have another race within that same age category for the people who are not so mobile.
Right.
Yes.
Do you know overall like how many events we're having this year?
There's a number of events. In Division 1, you have a 400-meter walk, 100-meter walk, beanbag, toss, giant dart throw, lime and spoon, rustic ring toss, and dominoes. And it's similar for Division 2 and 3. I think it's pretty much the same thing
Yeah.
for them. But one division, Division 1 would be taking care of people 65 to 72.
Okay.
And Division 2 would go from 7 to 3, I think, to 7 to 9. And then Division 3 would take the people from 80 plus.
Okay. Who was the
Yes.
oldest last year? Oldest participant?
I want to
Or the
say
age?
it might have been Mrs. Evans and that gentleman from Northside. I know Mrs. Evans was over 80,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Yes.
pretty cool. I think I did interview her, actually.
Yes, could
You
be.
organized that for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
could have been.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that. What I know there must be safety measures as we're dealing with people who are older and bodies are a bit more fragile. So, what safety measures are in place to support the participants during these activities?
Well, there's always the ambulance should always be HSA proper. Doctors should be involved and nurses who could respond very swiftly. We hope that we don't have any incident, but you have to be prepared
We should have had
for
someone
all
from
eventualities.
from DCFS here as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it would have been nice. How has the partnership with them shaped the planning and the goals of this event?
I think it's going well. They are more in touch with the community than us in this area. So we have been using them, piggybacking with them to give out all of the registration forms and get all of their participants interested.
Signed up in the various districts. Yes.
Awesome. And what kind of role do volunteers play in this particular event?
Well, we have persons who are helping the participants with like giving out food and
registration, maybe helping to move them from one station to another.
Okay.
And lining them up at the beginning or like escorting them back to their seats after. And for those who are who are not so mobile, to make sure that they're replenished with the refreshments as necessary and that type of stuff. And then also helping us with awards and stuff. I mean, we have our teams together, but volunteers are key. You can never have enough hands on deck. So
yeah, definitely.
yes.
What about transportation for them getting to the Truman Bodden Sports Complex? Is that something that DCFS arranges, or the family members will be?
I would imagine that would be a combination of that, because I know based on the West Bay group, when I do stuff with them, because that's a group that I work with along with DCFS staff, member Vanda, and I know last night we had a talent show and a number of them were coming because I had them in the fashion show and some of them were performing. Some of them parked and then all came together in a bus, and then others drove with family members or on their own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I imagine it would be a combination of that, and DCFS usually coordinates that.
Awesome. And Coach, what kind of atmosphere are you hoping to create at the Truman Bodden Sports Complex with this event?
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Laughter,
Excitement, laughter.
excitement. Yes. Last year,
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
some wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just enjoying the music and catching up with old friends. So
Yeah. I think that's amazing. It's amazing what you all are doing for the older folks. That's pretty cool.
Yes, well, we will be there someday.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
exactly.
We
right.
want someone to do the same for us. Just because you're a certain age, it doesn't mean that life has stopped. Life should stop.
Right.
Yes.
Is there going to be like entertainment, like food, music, dance?
yes, we will have.
I know you're good for the dancing, Miss Mita.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll
Well,
have a
yeah,
DJ
and good food
and
will
some
be,
good
refreshments
food.
will be there, provided for everyone. And I think they'll have goodie bags as well.
Yes.
All right. And how do you guys ensure the event feels inclusive and celebratory for all of the attendees?
I think that's the reason why we have the different categories. And like I say, we also, within those categories, are cognizant that we may have to have more than different categories within the age divisions to accommodate, but we won't be able to tell exactly how many until we see who signs up.
Okay.
And also, like Coach Redford was saying to me earlier, that's why Domino's was included, because we find too also that more women come out
Right. So
to
maybe if you have
participate than the
Domino's,
men.
Yeah.
Yes.
The men will
Yes.
follow.
Yes. Well, we think that would, Coach Red was thinking that would be something that could draw them. So I think that it'll be inclusion. I mean, last time we had people who were wheelchair bound.
Yeah.
And who we ensured that they were able to still do the tossing and that kind of stuff.
I find that men are mostly more prideful when it comes to aging. So like the event you held, the older person's event you held the summer, over the summer, I found that more women were there. The whole class was full of women and just one man.
Yeah.
Am I right? Are you guys more prideful in the fact that you're aging and
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess it's understandable. Or you want to share why you think that is?
I'm not sure. I'm not that old yet.
I know.
I guess when I get there, I'll know.
I don't know. Yes.
Okay. All right. How are we encouraging like families and younger Caymanians to come out and support this very important event?
Well, through initiatives like this coming on the radio, we hope that I'm sure that the people who have been on before are promoting, and to see the families come out and support your family member.
Yes.
And just come out, even if you don't have a family member, and support them. It's a nice evening, and I think that the seniors are encouraged when they have spectators watching them. It makes them feel more valued. And so we're asking everybody, if you're listening now, please come out. Even if you're not a senior, you can still come out and support. And even if you don't have a senior member in your family to bring, we encourage everybody to come out and support. Yes.
So it's this Saturday.
Yes.
Time?
Coach Reds?
Starts at 5:30.
Sorry,
should finish
assistant
around, should finish around 8:30.
So 5:30. Oh, so it's nice. It's in the evening.
But we have registration. That's from 4:30 to 5:30.
All right. Any mosquitoes are the true? I've never experienced much mosquitoes in the Truman body.
Sometimes they can be, but I suspect that all of that should be taken care of by maintenance, and it's still water and perhaps the area is sprayed.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
What message are you hoping the seniors take away from participating in this event?
That they're valued, and that we understand the need to provide competitive competition in a fun, healthy and structured way and safe environment, and that we're going to try to keep putting events on such as these, and you see what I'm doing in my program, and others within our department, like Coach Molly and a team went to the BRAC this summer.
Yes.
So and it's all of those events build up to build the confidence of each senior within the programs that we touch, so that they can feel, yes, I could try this, I could do this, and feel more empowered and feel good about themselves and confident enough.
Were there any memorable events, like any memorable stories from last year that you would like to share?
I can remember a gentleman that was in a chair throwing, and he was just so ecstatic and so happy and pleased with himself. But then there were so many other ones, but that one stood out to me because, of the inclusivity of it. Yeah. That he was there, he couldn't get up and he couldn't walk, but organizers, Coach Cherry and her team made sure that they took the setup of the game to him. So his wheelchair was on the edge of the track facing the inside on the grass, and he was able to throw and toss. I remember because I took a picture of him or a video, and that was really, really special. Very special.
Coach Redvook, did you have any? You guys have done this. What spurred this on in the first?
I want to say that in the makings for years. Yeah. And there might have been something that happened a good few years back, but then it died out, and then it was revived. And now, hopefully, consistently, this can happen and take place, like every other competition for other age groups. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Awesome. And how can the public continue to support active aging initiatives beyond Older Persons Month?
I think that they can by a number of ways. They can support seniors working within their programs. Mm-hmm. They can sponsor. That's a big thing, because to run these events, you need to get a few things to make it run effectively, and also to provide refreshments and a number of things like the T-shirts and memorabilia and that kind of stuff, like the bags with the stuff that's going to be stuffed in there and those types of things. And I think that also they could be like a gold sponsor where they do more. I mean, and there's a lot of other things that we would like to roll out through the programs that we're doing in the Department of Sports.
Right.
In particular, my program, like a tech camp or something, perhaps, because we find that some of the seniors struggle to send a WhatsApp and to navigate themselves around those basic things.
I like that.
So I think that all the private sectors, and they've stepped up, because we've had a number of them that have sponsored events that I've been in, and I know last year we had a number of them, I would say, that sponsored. And the ministry is behind us 100%, and our acting director of sports, Miss Melinda Montemia. So I think we're on the right track, and that we will continue to grow from strength to strength.
Awesome. Speaking of that, were there any challenges last year that you guys have probably improved on, or anything you'd like to make mention of?
Well, the only thing is always the threat of rain.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's, I mean, we know that could be looming right now because there's some weather out.
Yes.
But we have to move on as if the event will happen. But of course, decision will be made depending on what happens come Thursday. I'm sure that management will
of course keep
do what they have
listening
to do and make the call.
Yeah.
You know, when they have to make the call. Yeah.
And of course, keep listening to Radio Cayman as we
Yes.
advertise and we do news stories and sports stories about it as well. In terms of registration, is it a free event?
Yes,
It
it's
is.
free to the public.
Okay, so it's free to the public and even to the older persons that's coming in as well. Okay, how many people have registered so far?
Well, I can't speak for whatever else has been turned in, but I think 15, like last night when we were at the talent show, there were 15 people because some forms were at the Harkwell that Tristan brought in. I'm unsure which group they came from. It seems to be a mixture from some of the West Bay group that I work with, but we have the different districts and the different community development officers from DCFS. So we're unsure because they're the ones pushing that. I mean, I have DOS programs that seniors are involved with. So I've already spoken to them, been speaking to them, and hopefully we'll get some of those signed up this week. But to go back to what you were saying about things that we could do better, you know, as with every event, you always find things that you prepared for. You can never prepare enough, and then something changes on you. So you tweak this year based on what happened last year, and then this year you might have to revert back to what you had. It's fluid, so you just have to land on your feet and be ready for every eventuality, and just try to smooth it out, and just make sure that at all times during whatever's going on, that the safety and the well-being of all the participants and all involved is of utmost importance. And you might find that you have to revert back to something. So it's just fluid, and you just prepare the best that you can and just be ready for whatever comes.
What role will both of you be playing on Saturday?
Well, I am in charge of the entire event, so I will be running around doing whatever it takes to make sure that everything runs as smooth as possible. And I have Miss Day, she's in charge of all of the protocol stuff. Okay. So she will be greeting all of the dignitaries that come in and, you know, making sure that our VIPs are well taken care of.
Yes, that's myself and my team. And then we also will be taking care of all of the awards. You know, when they're given awards, and ensuring that all the dignitaries or the ministers or whoever's going to be passing them out and getting results from the result team and that kind of stuff. Yes.
Awesome. So who will be at the stations? Just like other coaches as well?
Yeah. Coaches and other volunteers.
Yeah. Well, so he's basically has a team of the coaches, and they'll be heading up different areas. I think Coach Irvin is helping you with the actual running. Meet director, him and Coach Stanley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I've exhausted all my questions. Is there anything that I did not ask you guys that you would like to get out there to the public?
Come out. We need everybody to come out and support. If you know of a senior, anyone 65 and up, who has not heard of this event, we ask that you please encourage them to come out. And even if they don't get to register before, we would prefer if they're pre-registered, try to get them down there early.
So you have to register at Truman.
Well, no, you can register before, and we prefer that, because if we have that, then we could start putting things together. But, you know, in the event that you don't get to register, come on down, but just come down early, like 4 o'clock, 4:30, so that you can get registered. And we're asking if everybody could just spread the word. If they're listening tonight, please just pass it on to someone else.
And where is registration before Truman? Where is it?
They could get on to the DCFS office, to the particular, to the individuals who are for the different districts. They should be able to tell them, well, for Bordentown, it's Miss Sophia, and then for West Bay it would be Miss Vanda, and so forth.
They can also email sports@gov.ky.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. All right. Have a good night. And you know what? All the best with this event. I will be there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it'll be fun. All right. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Sports Extra in a minute.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
It's time once again to dance for diabetes. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and BAF Insurance is inviting you to dance for diabetes with us on Saturday, November 14th from 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. at 7 Mile Beach Park. Warm up with the Performance Lab, Zumba with School of Fitness. Bring a love gift for the Cayman Islands Diabetes Association. Refreshments courtesy of Reliable Industries. Registration is free, and let's dance for diabetes awareness. Register now at bafcayman.com.
Are you feeling overwhelmed, sad, stressed out, or suicidal and need support? Call 1-800-534-6463. K-Mind, Mental Health Helpline. It's okay to ask for help. K-Mind Mental Health Helpline, available from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Friday. It's free and confidential support and guidance on your emotional and psychological health.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman wishes to inform the community that the Delano Hislop 5K, 10K, walk, run, and 15K and 25K cycle has been rescheduled to March 29th, 2026. Stay tuned for more information on all of the Lions Club events. And reminder to get your Lions Club Benzorama tickets and help support all of the Lions Club of Grand Cayman initiatives. Drawing for this year's Mercedes-Benz C200 takes place November 8th at the Mango Tree. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, proudly serving the community for over 50 years.
Have you ever heard the saying, you are what you eat? If you are proud to be Caymanian, then it's time you start eating local. Shopping local is better for the environment, offers fresher foods for your family, and supports the local economy. The Farmers Market at the Cricket Grounds offers the freshest in local produce, not to mention local preserves and crafts. Start feeding your family the best in locally harvested produce. You are what you eat, so start eating quality local healthy fruits and vegetables. Be proud to be Caymanian. Shop local at the Farmers Market at the Cricket Grounds today.
Find out about all the community happenings from non-profit, community fundraisers, church events, and more with Radio Cayman's Community Bulletin Board 3 times daily. Don't be the one to miss out on the latest information for events taking place every day on all 3 islands. Radio Cayman's Bulletin Board, brought to you by UCCI. Visit www.ucci.edu.ky. Choose your dream and blaze your trail today. And the Lions Club of Grand Cayman, serving the community for over 5 decades. The community calendar, also brought to you by Baptist Health International, healthcare that cares. Radio Cayman's Community Bulletin Board.
Yesterday,
Today,
always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
All right. Good evening again. Welcome back to Sports Extra. We have a very special guest in the studio. We have Mr. Jim Fox. Good evening to you. And I'm going to just cut to the chase and say he coached Steph Curry. That's all the people want to know.
Mic drop. Mic drop. That's it.
That's kind of what people say, right?
Yeah. It's very nice to have you on board here with us at Radio Cayman.
It's great to be here. It's great to be here. It's been an incredible experience so far. I love, I'm the only one in my family who has not been here yet.
Really?
I missed out.
Oh, wow. You have been missing out.
And so they're extremely jealous right now. And trust me, I'm rubbing it in big time. I'm taking a picture of every sunset, every beach I could possibly find.
But besides that, your ties to Stephen Curry, you're also a Division I coach, right?
Yes. So I spent 14 years at Davidson College as an assistant under Bob McKillop. Hopefully he should be a Hall of Famer soon.
Nice.
And then 6 years as the head coach at Appalachian State in North Carolina.
Awesome. I like it. So how's your stay been so far?
It's been great. I've been working hard. I appreciate the camp. We've had about 50 kids.
I like it.
And they are keeping us on our toes.
Yes.
It's been a lot of fun though. Getting to know these guys and it's just teaching basketball to somewhere I've never been, which is really cool. And kids who are so eager to learn, really love the game. And I mean, it's an off week.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're sitting in the gym with us, for 3.5 hours. So as a coach,
it shows
you
how
love
much
to see
they
that.
love that. Yeah,
absolutely.
How much they love the sport. And Mr. Anglin, good evening to you.
Good evening, madam.
Awesome. What does it mean for Cayman basketball to host Coach Jim Fox's caliber?
It's a very big deal. I was quite excited. Certainly want to thank the AAU organization. They've been wonderful, and we've been forging a great connection there. And they said, hey, we want to help, and we want to send our best down to anything that we can offer to help boost your program. And so I learned about Coach Jim, and I said, hey, can we have this guy down here? And he's very highly sought out. He's traveling all over the United States. He's speaking here and there. He's running camps here and there all the time. So the fact that he was able to squeeze us into his schedule, we were really excited about that. And we did it on pretty short notice too. So really grateful for him to be here. And it's very significant for our players to be able to rub shoulders and meet people who are where they want to be in a sense, in terms of a lot of them have aspirations to play in college and all of that kinds of stuff. And they might hear it from us, but it's a completely different thing when you're hearing from an actual D1 coach.
Right.
And who can actually tell you, hey, this is what I look for in a player. These are the qualities that you need to have. And so that really helps to reinforce some of the things that we've been talking about here. But getting his knowledge and expertise and being able to pass that on with the kids is tremendous.
How has the camp been so far? You said 50 kids have been out there. What are some of the things that you've been talking to them about?
So we've tried to teach them basketball lessons that help them every day. And we talked about always being on stage. You never know who's watching.
Right.
And we talk about helping somebody or help yourself. Stuff. If you ask Steph, help somebody or help yourself, he knows what that means.
Yeah.
And so these guys have been, guys and girls, have been very receptive to that. And, we're covering everything. We do fundamentals, we play some games, we do some things, that are fun. That make them, hopefully help them enjoy the game that they love even more.
Awesome. How do you, Coach, balance teaching fundamentals with encouraging creativity on the court?
Yeah, so I mean, fundamentals and details and little things are so important. Mm-hmm. So, and we like to show our players why they're important, because kids always want to ask questions. Mm-hmm. I mean, I still want to ask questions all the time, and so I think we're really trying. We teach them a fundamental and say, here's why you do this, and then and especially with our older players, you as you get better. And as you continue to work harder, you get more room for that creativity. But you got to earn it. You got to earn it. You got to show the coach and your teammates that, hey, you can trust me.
Yeah.
And it's like when Steph was a freshman, his first half, we started him.
Yes.
He went 1 for 9. He had 6 turnovers and 3 fouls. So we went into the locker room at halftime in a pure panic.
Yes.
But then he had 26 in the second half. So we did the right thing,
I get it. And it's something with this generation, basketball IQ. It's very important. But to say it's lacking is very harsh, but how do you help athletes develop the basketball IQ beyond just the physical skills?
And, tell you the truth, that's one thing we look for as a college coach. We look for that in recruiting. Mm-hmm. We look for if a player has parents who played the game,
right?
You would not believe. Obviously, their basketball IQ has got a head start.
Yes.
So that's really important for that. But then, I think players teaching them, hey, here's what you can do to make yourself not only a better player fundamentally, but a better player mentally is something that's really important. If you want to be a really good player, you got to have both sides covered. You got to be mentally tough and physically skilled and physically tough.
Awesome. Now that the camp is in full swing, what stood out to you about the young athletes here in Cayman?
Just how much they love basketball.
Okay.
They're all. That's one, and as Colin said, I'm fortunate enough to go over the country and all over the world to do camps. But this camp, the players are really into it. They're listening. A lot of times you go do a camp and it's kind of like the parents got to get the kids out of the house for a little bit, and and they just hand them off and say good luck. But these players here, you can tell they feel very fortunate and thankful that they're given this opportunity, and they've been great. They've been great. They're really, they're nice people to be around. They always say thank you. I got 50 kids coming up to me giving me a fist pound saying thank you, coach, after every day. And you know what? I've been doing it a long time. That's important.
Yeah.
That's important.
Definitely. So would you say they've responded to your intensity and the structure of your training session so far?
Well, I think my intensity and structure of the training session is successful because of the job that Colin and his group have done here.
Okay.
They've set the standard here, and it makes my life easier. And even just working with the 16 under team, we just came from there. You could tell, hey, these guys are coached the right way. They're thankful to represent their country. And that's a credit to Colin and and his group, and what a great job they've been doing to grow basketball here.
Awesome. And Mr. Anglin or Colin?
Yes, ma'am.
What has the feedback been like over the last 2 days? What have you heard so far?
Oh, it's been great. Everybody that I've talked to say, hey, Coach Jim is awesome. We love his intensity. Like, man, he communicates a lot. He talks a lot. But we love to hear what he has to say. I witnessed that tonight when he was coaching the U16 program there. And as he was talking, all the guys were like, they were so zoned in, and they were basically gobbling up every single thing that he had to say. And like I said, big thanks to our coaches, Coach JP, Coach Trini, Coach Corey, Coach Voot. They're all there working together with Coach Jim at the camp as well. And you get out what you put in. So I like to say that coaches are the tree and athletes are the fruit. Right, so if you got a good healthy tree, you're going to get some good fruit. Right. But we want to continue to work on that, and I'm very grateful because Coach Jim is saying, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to just take my evenings off. What else can I do? Do you have something else for me to do? I'm here to help in any way possible." So, even though we primarily brought him here for the camp, he said, "Hey, yes, I'll come and work with the U16s in the evening. Tomorrow, we're actually doing a coach development session on youth development with coaches." And so, again, that's what that's about. It's about really expanding that reach. Right. And the better that we can equip our coaches, then the more our athletes are going to benefit and the more opportunities they'll be able to take advantage of. So
awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you. And, Coach, we're going back to you here now. I wanted to ask you something. And it is, yes, how has working with Steph, because you mentioned Steph quite a lot. I mean, I did first. But how has his influence How has he, I should say, influenced your approach to player development?
Well, two things about Steph. One, the cool thing is, for me personally, he's still the same, knucklehead he was.
Yes, he is.
In 2007. Mm-hmm. He's such a great person. And, the other thing you see is, how crazy his days are.
Yeah.
The amount of stuff he has to do. And I told the campers a story. We were with Steph in New York a couple of weeks ago, and he had stuff all day, promoting his book, promoting his golf tour. And so he had a bunch of younger NBA players came up to him and said, "Steph, you're probably going to say no, but can we work out with you?" And Steph said, "Absolutely, come on down." And they were like, "Great." And he's like, "We'll be here at 5:30 tomorrow morning." And then Steph said all their faces were like, "Yeah, we're not going to make that. We're not going to make that." So the one thing about Steph is you see how committed he is to his craft. How important it is to be the best player in the world. It is to him, but the work ethic, the intensity, the every day, no matter what. He's doing stuff all day. He's still for that hour. He never takes a day off, and that's not. I'm biased, but that's not an exaggeration. Mm-hmm. He never takes, and when he's working out, he is all in.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you talk about what you get from Steph. I just think his work ethic and, the fact that he's such a good person is something I try and explain to our players in our program on Long Island and when I go talk around the country.
I like how he told them 5:30 in the morning because he knew very well they weren't going to come.
That's fair.
And he wanted to practice alone.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true.
Let me see who dare come out at 5:30.
Well, that's a litmus test, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You don't, on average, have a superstar like that saying, "Yeah, you can come and work out with me."
Right.
So I'm sure for him, hey, let me see how committed you are.
You are, exactly.
That's an immediate litmus test right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What traits did he show early? I guess early on in college that hinted at his future greatness?
Well, I mean, again, you talked about basketball IQ. You had Dell was a longtime NBA player, and his mom, Sonia, was a great volleyball player at Virginia Tech.
Top athlete.
So and Steph's whole family, obviously Seth is an NBA player, and Sadell was a Division I volleyball player.
Yeah.
So Steph had that work ethic ingrained in him, but the thing that we love to really get just drill home with him, it's like, "Hey, Steph, remember this team? Oh, they passed on you. They didn't think you were good enough."
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of teams passed on Steph because he looked like he was he looked like he was 15 years old.
Yeah.
And, Steph's desire to prove people wrong, even when I remember some of these quote unquote experts on ESPN and these other places saying Steph's not going to be an NBA player. He's not going to be this. He's not going to be this. It's still cool to see, Steph has them all saved.
Yes.
And, it's still cool to see that he can't do this, can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. And Steph never let that bother him. He just said, I'm going to work tirelessly to make this happen. And obviously having tremendous parents that helped him along the way and showed him the ropes definitely helped too.
That was definitely his motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You don't want me? Okay. I'll work my butt off. What's something something about Steph that most fans don't see, but it is crucial to his development?
I think Steph is seen as everyone likes Steph.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone likes Steph, and Steph is extremely competitive in everything he does. But Steph is also people see him as this guy, but he's also a great leader.
Mm-hmm.
And so leadership in different forms. Yeah, there are those people who are very verbal with their leadership, but Steph is verbal. One, but Steph leads by example, and he always has. Even at Davidson, Steph was one of those guys that, hey, watch what I do, watch how I conduct myself, watch how I handle these situations, and watch how I work. And obviously, at Davidson, he was an All-American. So if you have freshmen coming in saying, wow, Steph's doing that, if Coach can get on Steph, then I can tell you what, Coach is definitely going to get on me.
Right.
So Steph, extremely competitive, but he's also a tremendous leader, of his team. And you still see that with the Warriors today, the respect those guys have for him. But, but also what he's done for their WNBA team. Steph's two oldest children are, his daughters. And, he wants them to be what he's done in Curry Brand, taking care of, some of the best female players in the WNBA and in NCAA Division I. So that's really cool to see. And even when we go to Steph's camp every year, Steph has 14 of the best boys players in the country, and he also has 14 of the best girls players in the country. Yes. And watching him interact with them, that's incredible. It's incredible.
There's always been a big debate internationally and locally here as well about Stephen Curry's game and how it has impacted the game, whether negatively or positively. How do you help young players understand that his success isn't just about flashy threes, but also about fundamentals and discipline?
Well, and Steph does such a good job at making his teammates better. Yeah. I love a stat. The one stat I love, I told to the camp yesterday. I asked the question, nobody got it right. I said Steph last year was 4th in the NBA in this stat, and there was no other guards in the top 20. What is it? Mm-hmm. And the kids were like, "Oh, it's assists." I was like, "Nah, it's not assists." I mean, what they had no idea what it was, and it's screens.
Right.
So Steph, all big guys set the most screens, except he'll say 6'3", 6'4", 6'2", Steph Curry right there as setting the fourth most screens in the NBA.
Yes.
And Steph always looks back. He says, well, if I set good screens, I'm going to get open, or I'm going to get my teammate open.
Yes.
And Steph has that mentality where, again, like I said before, you help somebody, help yourself. And, that's the way he is as a person in every aspect of what he does. I mean, I could list all the things he's done for me,
yes.
And other people close to him. And it's just awesome. But I just love that number. Steph sets screens more than any guard in the NBA.
Awesome.
And I'll bet all people think about most of the time is seeing him run off screens.
Yes.
Right.
You're always seeing him. He runs off screens all day long, and you wouldn't think he's 4th in setting screens. So,
yeah, I mean the threes are amazing, but he also that's why people love playing with him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What are your views on the arguments
about what he did with
the 3-point game?
I definitely think I definitely believe he's changed the game.
Yes.
We always try and explain to our players that we used to give licenses out to shoot, and you had to earn your license.
Yeah.
So Steph earned his license. Steph earned his right to take 25-footers in transition. Now, if Jim Fox is coming down the court and somebody passes me the ball and I take a 25-footer in transition, I'm probably going to get taken out of the game.
Yeah.
So Steph's done a lot of, he gives people, who don't look like, LeBron James, a specimen. Yeah. But he gives a guy, who may not have the crazy athleticism, but he gives that guy hope that, hey, I can maybe make the NBA or play college basketball if I can make shots. But again, I think that's for coaches to really instill on their players. Like, you're not, you know, you know how many times I've said to my players, who you think you are, Steph Curry?
Yeah. I think we have said that here as well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm probably taking some shots in my day that.
Well, I'm going to gauge your conversation back to the camp itself, and if you can share maybe a moment from the camp that really impressed you or surprised you.
I mean, that's a good. So what we do every day is we do repetition drills. Right. So sometimes in a camp that could get a little dull or boring. Okay. But one thing I've really noticed is how hard these players work, all of them, and how hard they come in and want to be better basketball players. But the one thing that was kind of like a stall tactic right there. But the one thing I think coach, I was really impressed. So when I heard it was a break in school this week, and I got to the gym at about camp started 8:30, so we got there about 7:45 on Monday, and Coach Corey was there with about 10 kids, and these guys he had them working hard. Mm-hmm. And I said to him, I said, what's going on here? And he said, it's like a breakfast club. Is that right, Brett? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I said, and they came at 5 a.m. Mm-hmm. I said, and he's like, well, before school, they come in here, then they get ready for school, and they go to school. I said, yeah, but they're off from school. He's like, they just want to be great. And I talked to those guys. I said, look, the most impressive thing that I could see here is you guys all getting up when you don't have school, when all your buddies are still 3 hours from waking up, and you guys here sweating and getting better. I thought that's one thing that will stick with me when I leave here, because I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah. You want to add to something, or you're good? I thought you wanted to say something.
Nope.
You good? Okay, all right. So what's the specific skills are you emphasizing during these sessions? What did you do yesterday? What have you done today, and what's coming up for the rest of the week?
Yeah, so we always start. We want to get them active. We want to get them moving right away, because sometimes, especially like on a day like tomorrow, it's kind of that third day, so they're a little tired. Okay. So we get them moving right away. So we'll do ball handling and passing right away.
Tired.
What's that?
They don't get tired.
That's true. I get tired, but they don't. But we'll do. Yeah, we'll do ball handling, passing, and then we try and teach them how to play. Yeah. So we'll do a lot of screening drills. We'll do a lot of passing. Give and goes, back cuts. Try and get them to understand, the correct way, correct way to play. But then we do some fun stuff. I play a game, and we changed it now. We call it Steph Says. It's like a Simon Says game.
Yes.
And I played the game 5,226 times. I've never lost. But if you beat me, you get $100. Now, one thing the kids all said to me was, here I got to give $120 because it's not working. So
that was very smart.
Yeah. So they called me out on that right away. So Thursday we got a big Steph Says. It's like a Simon Says thing, and they put 12 minutes on the clock, and if anyone survives, I give them $120 each. But I tell them not to get too excited because they have no chance of beating me.
So when is the camp? What time? Is the camp? It starts at what time?
Yeah, the camp starts at 8:30, and it runs until 12.
Okay. Are we expecting more kids at this camp, or is it closed off? Or
yeah, I mean, pretty much at this point, because it's only 2 days left. I think it's, yeah, I mean, you don't want to turn anybody away, but at the same time, to gain the most from the camp, you want to kind of be there from the beginning because everything is progressional as well. And so, just kind of, jumping in the last minute, it doesn't do you that much. I know everybody wants to come see Coach Jim, though, and take some pictures. But yeah, I think it's pretty much closed off at this point.
Okay, awesome. Coach Jim, what are you hoping these campers take away from this?
So I gotta give credit to our president of AAU, Joe Mirza. This was his idea. So he wanted us. The big thing with the AAU is they do such a great job of putting on tournaments and games. And so what President Mirza said was, no, I want to take care of our players. I want to help their skill development. And and you guys know this. Like, you go to Europe, and they don't play as many games as we do. They train throughout the week, and then they play on weekends.
Right.
So the biggest thing I want, one, is to reinforce their love of basketball.
Yes.
And two, to give them an opportunity to say, hey man, if I really want to be good at this sport or any sport, anything that they do, I have to really work hard.
Yeah.
And if you love something the way they all say they love basketball, you're willing to do that. And again, what better evidence of that is on a week off from school, they're spending 3.5 hours in a gym and trying to get better. And I think that if their love of the game can improve, and then we can help any way the basketball here in Cayman, that would be those were my goals coming in.
Yeah. Awesome. Have you coached any other pro athletes other than Steph?
So we used to send at Davidson. We used to send a ton of guys to Europe.
Yeah.
We had Steph's point guard, Jason Richards.
Okay.
Actually made the Miami Heat, and unfortunately blew out his knee three consecutive times. So that was it. Now he turned into a golfer after that. But we have a lot of guys who, and maybe not necessarily the NBA, but they've made a good living playing over in Europe, which is an awesome opportunity for them.
I got 2 minutes left. How's it things at Davidson right now?
At Davidson, they're doing great. They're in a new conference. Coach McKillop has retired.
Okay.
Matt McKillop is the new head coach.
Okay.
And they're doing a great job navigating, as I'm sure you guys know, how crazy the world of college athletics is in the States, and with this NIL and transfer. And I'm happy I'm not in it anymore. We're running a successful basketball business on Long Island. I get to improve my golf game, which is not going well. And then, I always root for
Steph's
that.
got to coach you on that one.
Well, trust me, we got some golf stories. It would take another 3 hours to tell you golf stories.
Where to next after Cayman?
We're going up to Connecticut, and actually at the first week in November, and then we're going to spend some time early December in Puerto Rico. The AAU runs a big tournament there. And we're going to go down the day before and do a clinic there.
Awesome, I like
that. So I spent times going to middle of New York State, middle of South Carolina. I figured I'd get some nice places to go to now,
Yeah. Is this going to be like an annual thing?
I would love it to be anything they want, any way I could help.
And you can bring Steph with you and Aisha.
I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't take. I'm sure Steph would be up for it, man. Yeah. I'm sure. Show him the golf courses, show him the places down here.
Oh yes, we have a beautiful golf course here.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
definitely. All right, well that's it. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for coming by, Coach Jim Fox, and we have Mr. Colin Anglin. I don't usually say it out, but yes, he is my husband. It's great to have you on the show. It's always great to have him on the show with me. So. You guys are heading back to basketball, or everything's done?
Everything's done for tonight.
Yeah, we're done for tonight.
Okay. And you coached the under-16. They had the opportunity for you to coach them tonight.
We had a great time.
Oh, that was amazing. I'm sure they were so happy.
Yep.
Yeah, it must have been really exciting.
I would just like to ask, I would say to all athletes, and these are some of the things that really mean a lot to me, to remember what Coach Jim said when he said, you're always on stage.
Yeah.
You never know
Very
who's
true.
watching and when they're watching you. So don't think that the time to perform or the time to be at your best is when you're actually on court and you think, okay, somebody's watching me now. It's really It's really the other things, except for just putting the ball through the rim, right? Like Coach was saying, what are you doing when you come to practice? Are you just goofing off, listening on your headphones, or are you warming up early? Are you staying late? Are you punctual? How do you communicate with your teammates? What kind of person, what kind of character do you have? These are the things that coaches really pay attention to, because skill is skillful players are a dime a dozen, so to speak. So it's a lot about those intangible things that's what coaches are really looking for. So remember, you're always on stage. I think that's a good lesson to take throughout your life. Period.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing those words of wisdom. A big thank you definitely to Miss Mita Day and Redva Ebanks of the Department of Sports that stopped by earlier, Mr. Jim Fox, of course, and of course you, Mr. Colin Anglin, for joining us. And for everyone who's supporting the Senior Sports Day, that's this Saturday, and the lab camp, right? So your energy, that's what keeps sports alive here in the Cayman Islands. Good night. I'm Dion Anglin. God bless.
Sports Extra. From 7 to 8 p.m., highlights of local sports around the Cayman Islands. Sports Extra.
It's amazing to see the improvement of the team.
Sports Extra, keeping you informed.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1970.